For the first minute, let's grab your attention by taking you straight into the cold reality of the Great War. Trench warfare, wasn't just about mud and machines. It was a constant battle against cold that drained a man's strength faster than shrapnel ever could. Winter blew through Europe with a brutality that honestly soldiers were never fully prepared for. Wool blankets were issued, sure, but anyone who's ever handled century-old military wool knows the truth. When it gets wet, wool becomes heavy, loses its insulation, and eventually turns into a sponge that chills you instead of warming you. And in the trenches, everything was wet. Rain, sleet, ground moisture, condensation, the cold, it just came from every direction. Yet across French, British, Canadian and German lines, soldiers carried something else, a small personal item that provided more dependable warmth than any blanket could. A simple pouch, sometimes homemade, sometimes officially issued, that held on to heat for hours, even in those brutal conditions. It wasn't fancy, and it certainly wasn't meant to impress anyone, but it became, without a doubt, one of the most valued pieces of winter gear in the trenches. Its design was simple, a tightly sewn, durable pouch filled with heated stones, sand or grain. The soldiers called them heat bags, warm sacks, field warmers, and in some diaries, simply the pouch. It survived because, well, it worked. Better than wool, better than campfires, better than hope itself. Now, let's dive straight into the mechanics of this forgotten WWI warmer, why it really outperformed wool, and how the same method can still be used today in survival, homestead and cold weather field situations. The pouch worked, you see, because it stored heat through thermal mass, not just insulation. Unlike a blanket that tries to trap your existing body heat, the WWI heat pouch actually generated warmth by storing dense radiant heat and releasing it slowly. Grain, sand and small stones all hold thermal mass extremely well. Heat them over a stove, a brazier, or even just a mess tin, pour them into the pouch, and you had yourself a portable heat battery. Soldiers would tuck these pouches inside their tunics, under coats, and at the foot of their bedding. What made this superior to wool is, well, simple physics. Wool helps only when it's dry. When saturated, as often happened in trench life, its insulating ability drops dramatically. A heat pouch, however, produces warmth even in humid, damp, or freezing air. Women on the home front also produce thousands of them in knitting circles, filling them with rice or barley so they were both soft and effective at heat retention. The real effectiveness came from how quickly they could be recharged. A soldier could heat stones in a canteen cup, pour them in, and have warmth for hours. Medical personnel noticed something interesting. When soldiers used these heat pouches, they suffered fewer cold-related hand injuries and fewer frostbite cases on their feet. That's because the pouches were placed exactly where they were needed, against hands, inside pockets, under arms, at the small of the back, or between boots and puttees. Modern survivalists, cold-weather workers and campers can easily replicate the trench-era heat pouch with basic materials. One method is to sew a pouch from thick canvas or denim. Fill it with dry rice, barley or sand, then heat it near a fire or atop a stove until warm. A second application is in wilderness survival. If someone is caught in freezing temperatures without sophisticated gear, heating smooth stones and wrapping them in cloth creates a field pouch that can prevent hypothermia during rest. On homesteads, people use similar pouches to warm beds before sleep in winter cabins. Understanding this technique gives us a deeper appreciation for the ingenuity of World War I soldiers. These men didn't have modern insulation, battery-powered warmers, or high-tech fabrics. They had canvas, grain, sand, stones, and the brutal will to survive another cold night. The pouch wasn't just a comfort item, it was a piece of field engineering shaped by necessity. It provided reliable warmth when wool failed, when fires were impossible, and when trenches froze into iron. This simple device outperformed blankets because it delivered stored energy directly to the body and because it required almost nothing to build, repair, or recharge. It's a forgotten piece of World War I survival knowledge that deserves a place in any modern cold-weather toolkit. If you want more forgotten field tricks, wartime ingenuity, and proven historical survival techniques, make sure you subscribe, share this video, and help keep this knowledge alive for the next generation of explorers, historians, and builders.